The idea behind risk management is to ensure you will not incur losses greater than your risk tolerance. In practice, it means balancing risk versus reward and then making an informed investment decision. A key component of risk management is hedging. Think of it like insurance. You hope that things go as planned, but if they don't, then what? Hedging can provide a means of protection for unplanned or negative events. There is an old expression, you can't manage what you can't measure. Risk managers and traders can use equity index futures to help measure and manage their equity index risk. It begins with understanding the notional value of the equity index futures contract. The notional value of a futures contract represents the contract's financial equivalent value. For equity index futures, it is calculated as follows. Notional value equals price of the futures contract times the contract multiplier. For example, assume the E-mini S&P 500 futures are priced at $21.85 even. The multiplier for this contract is $50. At this price, the notional value would be $109,250. Now consider a portfolio manager with a $10 million S&P 500 index risk position. Suppose she wants to reduce their exposure to the S&P 500 index by 10%. She could utilize E-mini S&P 500 futures by selling futures in a ratio based on the notional value of the futures contract. To build this hedging ratio, you take the value at risk and divide it by the notional value of a futures contract. In this case, value of the index to be hedged is 10% of $10 million, or $1 million. To calculate the equivalent futures contracts needed to hedge this position, divide $1 million by the notional value of the futures contract, which is $109,250. This equals 9.15, or the equivalent of 9 E-mini S&P 500 futures contracts. Say the S&P 500 index goes down by 3%, from 21.85 even to 21.19.50, a drop of 65.5 index points. The portfolio loses 3%, or $300,000. If the manager sold 9 futures contracts, she would have gained $29,475, which is 60.5 index points times $50 times 9 contracts. The portfolio manager's net result is negative $300,000 plus the futures gain of $29,475, which equals $270,525, or a 2.7% loss rather than a 3% loss. She has effectively reduced her losses by 10%. This is one way traders could use equity index futures to manage their equity risk exposure. CME Group lists many equity index futures products, which can be used in a variety of ways to support risk management strategies.